good, DT?
Doing well. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good, man. The same day,
Nice.
different shit.
Trying to go to the gym all stick and shit and do legs.
You feel what?
I think you trying to go to the. When I was listening to your story, I was like, he's high right now. I was like, for sure. And
Oh,
then you
that
got to
shit,
the
bro.
end, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I actually haven't smoked in a while, man. For whatever reason, I just haven't felt like doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes the less things you do, the better you feel. You start.
That's
As bodybuilders, we smoking weed, we taking caffeine, we taking kratom, we take. There's so much going on, bro. Sometimes you just be like, you know what? Let me just not take anything. Let me just get up and move.
the
You
problem
know,
with this. There's always something for something. If that makes sense. Like,
100%.
oh, like just with peptides. I did a video. There's a peptide for everything. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah.
take this. It's like, dude, what? Come on. Like,
I was about to say at one point, like recently, I found myself taking like 10 different things. I'm like doing all kinds of injections and shit. I'm like, what am I doing, bro? I scaled it
yeah.
way back.
yeah.
That
Well,
that's a crazy part in bodybuilding, right? Like when you're going through prep, and
Oh,
I don't know
bro.
if you guys have got to the point you're just like, what the fuck am I really doing? You're just like,
Bro,
you
there's some days
like,
where I've counted like my total injections and it's like crazy work, bro. Like, I'm like in one day, dude, like Jesus Christ.
and the craziest part is when you don't do it, a lot of times is your best look. When you
Mhm.
like, right? I
Yeah.
felt like last year I was checked out, but almost in a good way. Like I was talking about earlier, I put bodybuilding on autopilot, and I'm just handling life. You got to eat anyway, so I'm just eating my bodybuilding meals. I'm gonna work out, so it was like bodybuilding. Prep wasn't like this thing, like this grand thing. I got to do this. I got to do. It was just happening, like off season, right? Off season, you're not stressing over it. You're just getting it done. So I
yeah.
treated prep like off season or off season like prep. It was just the same thing, just less food. That's it. So
Just
it
when there's too
wasn't.
much going on, man, when there's too much
Uh-huh.
going on, like things aren't going to be working as efficiently as they could, and then it's just too much, bro. Like simplify shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was always kind of envious of like I used to watch like Regan's prep videos, and you couldn't
Hmm.
tell if he was prep or off season because he was just normal. He was just a
Yeah,
normal person.
yeah,
Bodybuilding was just happening. He just eats his meals, work out, and it was not a big deal. He would travel if he wanted to. He was just a normal person. I was like, I'm kind of envious of that because I used to be the guy who made prep this thing where my whole demeanor would change, my personality would change, and it's like I don't think I don't think you gotta do all that. I think you just gotta you just gotta get it done, you know.
I
But
think it
yeah,
becomes very hard though. Like at a certain point, because you want to win, right? And
uh-huh.
you start to think about what is the other guy doing?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
good are
yeah.
my
mhm,
genetics? What can I get away with, and what do I have to do 100%? So if you're 100% in every avenue, the day of your show, if you lose, then you're kind of okay with it because, well, you're never okay with
yeah,
it, but you're okay with the outcome due to the opinions of others.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you did everything that you can control.
You know what
And
the issue? My bad. It's
no,
good.
I was just say
right,
Luke shared a story with me last
yeah,
weekend, and
Who?
like Luke,
Oh, go
like
back. Uh-huh.
she shared a story with me last weekend, and to hear that, like if you're, he still did a show, he still did his thing. You won that show, right? Too, Luke.
yeah. I took second overall, but yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
regardless, you still did it.
yeah,
Hmm.
So I guess what I'm saying is that even if things aren't 100%, you can still get it done. Will it be your best
yeah.
look? I don't know
You
if
want to
this
know
if
what
this
was crazy? You want to know what was crazy about that too? That what DT's talking about? Maybe I don't know if you know this, but like I'll tell you in short. In 2022, I lost my house 3 weeks out from the show.
Oh,
So I was like homeless 3 weeks out from the show. I didn't have shit. I didn't have gear. I didn't have clothes. I didn't have food. I didn't have nothing. I was like a little bit behind at that time. And those next 3 weeks, bro, because I was literally just focused on like trying to eat, train, and do my cardio because that was all I could do. I like things just escalated, bro. And I got in shape like really quick. Like that next week, I made a shitload of progress when everything was like as simple, like as simplified as possible. I don't know if that means anything, but like it's just more to the point. But to go off your point, DT, like that's the thing. Sometimes I feel like for people like, I'm not necessarily any sort of genetic anomaly. I can't get away with shit. Like if I cut corners, if I cheat on my diet, if I don't do all my car, it shows. You know what I mean? And when I'm prepping for shows, I get into this like hard ass mindset because what gets me through it is like me saying to myself, like, oh, nobody's working harder than me, or like, oh, nobody, like, I'm not. When I get on stage, like, I'm gonna know that I didn't cut a single fucking corner. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff is what gets me through. But sometimes it's too much. Like that mental, like it can weigh on you, bro. You know what I mean? And you can lose your love for it just from doing that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We're already extreme people, right? The only people that kind of mindset benefits, I think, is maybe people who got into bodybuilding, um, almost for the wrong reasons. Let's say you're just a guy because now bodybuilding is cool, right? It's almost a fad. Let's say you're that guy, you get into it, I want to be popular, whatever. This is gonna be cool, and then you want to lock in. You know what? I'm gonna take this seriously, and then you actually lock in, right? At that point, you probably needed to train harder anyways because you weren't training hard to begin with. Now, most of us, or a lot of us who got into the sport because we actually love training, we're probably already training too hard to begin with because we love training, right? So we were probably in the gym way too long, probably doing way too much because the love started with training. So for us to say, let me lock in and really push, we're going the opposite direction. We're just doing too much at that point. And I think some of us have felt under that where we're like, well, let's really lock in. And we end up just doing way too much. With our 2024, Luke, just looking at what happened, I felt like you probably went too hard, if anything, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that's not a good thing, but that's how we got into the sport. We got into the sport at a time where more was better. Do more sets, do more weight. You're
Bro,
not in shape, do
I
more
told
cardio. That's
I
what we
told my
know.
brother the other day, like I found a workout in my old laptop from like when I first started, whatever, like 10 years ago. It was a shoulder workout that I wrote. It was like 45 sets, bro. It was like every exercise in the gym that I could possibly do for like 5 sets. And for my shoulders, bro. Like, I was like, how the fuck did my arm not like fall out my asshole, dude? Like, but like, you just did that. You were just there for like, I was there for like 2 plus 3 hours, just doing everything I could, every machine, I'm doing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it was just dumb.
I don't even know how it's possible, to be honest, how some of us aren't completely fucked up and injured. I don't think we actually fully recovered from it, but how were we even able to consistently work out like that?
I
I don't
know.
know. Because it doesn't
I
even make sense when I look back at it. I'm like, that didn't make sense, you know. But it was overkill, and
Yeah.
the maybe the science is going too far in that direction of maybe holding back too much. But I think there's a lot of benefits in bodybuilders getting smarter to some extent, as
Yeah.
long as as long as you maintain some intensity. I think it's a good thing because it's easy to say like, oh, these young guys, they're just doing too much. They're making they're turning into nerds and stuff like that. Some of them are, but I also
Now,
meet a lot of young, huh?
you know where it pisses me off? Sorry to cut you off.
There you go.
Is when they're entitled about it. It's like they might have a whatever better approach or find something that's optimal. It's when they try to tell people like us or like you, like, oh, you're doing it wrong, and they're just starting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's where I
yeah,
have an issue. But like, I think for the most part, it is good. It's just they got to know their place a little bit, pay their dues first. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. I also do run into young people who have the intensity part down, and they're just more knowledgeable than I was at their age, right? They get it more. So, that's why I think we're seeing. I think there was a time where you had to be a genetic freak to make it anywhere in bodybuilding. That was just it. All the genetic freaks made it, and if you weren't, you didn't make it. Now, I think like the normal genetic people are able to make it as well, right? I think it's both. I think, hey, oh, I think the normal genetic people are able to actually level the playing field to a certain extent because they're able
Yeah.
to almost outsmart their genetics to a point, right? Where they realize that, well, doing T-bar rolls like Ronnie Coleman isn't growing my back. So I have to figure out another way, right? Whereas there was a time where it was like, that's what you got to do. Okay, you're gonna look at the anomaly and say, well, he has a big back and he does it. What about the other 50 guys at your gym that do T-bar rolls like Ronnie who have no back? You should probably
Yeah.
be you should probably be looking at them for the results more than him because you ain't gonna be Ronnie regardless. But training like that is probably gonna have you looking more like them than Ronnie. Let's be real. So now guys can say, well, this is not working. Let me figure out what actually works for me. You know, so I think there's benefits in that as well. You know,
They got access to like so many different machines now and shit, bro. So many different angles and things. Like you're not tied to like one exercise. You know what I mean?
exactly, exactly. Now, yeah, you can go too far in either direction. Uh, I think that's the part you have to be careful of, and sometimes I got to be mindful of that too. Sometimes if I'm hype, maybe I go a little too heavy to the point I'm like, okay, I'm starting to bullshit, or
Yeah.
I'll get too intricate, and I'm like, you know, what, I'm starting to go too far in the opposite direction. So I think a good balance is needed.
There's always a balance, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, but Luke, what phase you in now? You,
I
as far
literally
as you kind of
started my off season officially like 5 days ago, 4 days ago.
okay, okay. So like
Well, I
pushing
like
up.
obviously rebounded. Yeah, I was in your health phase, whatever the fuck you want to call it, cruising for like 7 weeks.
Hmm.
Got my bloods back; they're good. So I just started like Friday,
Yeah,
uh, but I'm like holding in the 280s right now, so I should be up to 300 pretty soon.
there we go. There we go.
It
And you're
was
my
cool.
height. You're a
Yeah,
little
I'm
taller than
5'11".
me. Oh yeah.
I'm like 5'11". Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were a little taller than me.
Um, but it was good, dude. My bloods were like better than I expected. Honestly, they were really good. And I don't know if it's this peptide shit. Like, I don't know if that's contributing to it, but like my numbers were, I was really happy with them considering I had a long prep and and then a rebound and it was only off for 7 weeks. They looked, they looked good. So I was
What
happy with
what
that.
pep what peptide are you on?
So I was using Retta and then SS31 Mot C.
Okay, okay. My
Um,
Matsi
yeah,
has a different name, right? Is there another name for Matsi?
I don't know.
No,
No,
that's
I
her
just
just
name.
know
might
Mot
say.
C.
Okay, okay. I think I got some in the wardrobe over there in the cabinet somewhere. DT,
But yeah,
uh-huh.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. What you gonna say?
Huh?
You was gonna say something, Luke?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I just don't know yet if I'm gonna compete this year or not. Because
Okay.
I wanted to compete originally, then I was gonna take the year off, and then Derek was talking to me a lot at the gym, and he really wants me to try to compete this year. So like I'm kind of stuck. I'm gonna kind of see like where this off season goes, like once like things kick in, and then kind of take it day by day. Because like the pro schedule, like in North America, bro, like is not really ideal. It's like you have this like span of shows coming up that's like Detroit, New York, Pittsburgh, Toronto, that whole like crew. Now the Legions in the spring, right? Then you don't really have shit. Then you have Tampa, Texas, and now that Linda Murray show. And then after that, everything's basically in Europe. And I don't want to go to Europe for my debut. I mean, nah. So like, I'm like, because there's no more Vancouver, there's no more Chicago, there's no Indy, obviously. So like now I'm trying to figure out because I don't think I'll have enough time to be ready for that span of shows at the end of the summer. But I don't know if I want to wait until the following year. So I'm kind of figuring that out now, but we'll see what happens, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shit. But bodybuilding moves fast, man. A year in bodybuilding is like 3 months.
I
Bro,
know.
it's like It's crazy because hearing him talk about this year, it's like I felt like it was just a couple months ago we was talking about the damn amateur O, right? I
I
feel like
know, bro.
yesterday, and
I
that's
know.
already long gone. So it's crazy how it
It's
moves.
wild. It's going to be interesting, though. I was saying this on another podcast I did. Um, I think we're going to see because there are, honestly, there's more shows now in Europe than there are here, like pro shows. And I don't know if a lot of these guys can travel or want to travel or will travel. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of like good American bodybuilders not make the Olympia this year. And a lot of European guys do because you take like that span of shows in the spring, only one guy can win a show. So let's say like there's like 5 good dudes in the show, like 5 Olympians. The next 4 are going to roll over into the next one. Now only one guy can win that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And someone's going to get left out because you got like Hunter that needs to be qualified, Nick, Raph's coming back. Everyone from 5 to 10, basically, other than Brandon Curry, needs to be qualified. Vito, Tonio, all these guys. All right, Tonio might, I don't know, but all these guys need to requalify, and there's only a few shows, bro. You know what I
And
mean?
and guys are gonna do whoever doesn't qualify is gonna roll over, and then some people win, and they still might do another show. Like some guys are gonna win
Yeah.
and continue, right?
Like Hers, right,
Um,
and Jordan. They, you know what I mean?
exactly. So it's slim
It's
pickings,
tough out
man.
here, bro.
It's insanely tough. It's crazy, man. It doesn't even make sense how tough it is, you know.
I know.
But I mean, it's a good thing. I think it means the sport is doing well. When I see pages talking about bodybuilding is dead, I'm like, I don't think you actually follow bodybuilding. There's no chance you follow bodybuilding. If you think that you don't follow it because it's insane the level of competition, you know.
And it's so deep. Like, there's good guys. Like, I feel like, granted, I wasn't following bodybuilding in the '90s and early 2000s like I do now. Where I knew the top guys. I didn't know everybody. But I feel like now, like, you got 20 guys that are like really good. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, I feel like it's a lot deeper of a lineup where I feel like back then it was top heavy, like top 5, top 7 were really, really good. And then
It
it would drop
was,
off. Now it's like, dude, like the guy, like trying to predict this past Olympia was impossible, bro. After like the top 4 is like, dude could place 5th or 15th. It all could have
yeah.
swapped. You know what I mean?
So like most a lot of our biggest stars don't make top 10 at the Olympia now. That wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
thing. The biggest stars were in the top 10. Outside
Yeah.
of that, it was like, people didn't really. Nowadays, like
Yeah.
Urge is one of probably top 3 biggest stars in the Open now, and he didn't make top 10. You know, a lot of people didn't. It's just that's how deep it is. You know, the DT, what you got going on? You in a specific phase or
I'm
DT
in
mode?
fucking life, bro. I'm in fucking life. Nah, man, I'm done. You know, done with competing. Um, it's just pretty much HRT now and growth. I was actually talking about what is HRT, what dose is HRT, and it ranges in a wide variety of sectors. I never knew that someone had to be on 200 milligrams of HRT to be on HRT.
Oh,
Because what is HRT? You know,
I don't even. I feel like whatever makes you feel good is where you should be at.
yeah,
You
because
know.
I mean, in perspective, right? Like we think about it, like everyone's like, oh, if like I'm on a health phase. Well,
Hmm.
what is that to you? It could be anything, right? It's subject to the person. So here at my clinic, you know, our HRT ranges anywhere from 200 to 400, depending on the person. You
Nice.
might,
I like that.
yeah. So
Right.
you might take 200 milligrams of testosterone, and you still don't feel good.
Yeah.
And then when you pull your numbers still aren't good. You're not optimized. You're not in that level. So you might just need more. Everyone is different. So I always tell everybody my HRT is actually 400 milligrams of testosterone per week. That's my HRT. With 3, I use a growth. You could say that I'm blasting. You could say that I'm cruising. You could say that's not a health phase. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But everyone is on an individualized program.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is the problem I see in the bodybuilding community, is that because everybody wants to spew out these numbers, then if you take 1,000 milligrams of test, well, now you might be taking too much. But if you take 1,000 milligrams of test, you might be taking too little. You're a pro. You're not fucking taking that. There is no clear cut way how to do this. There's no rules in bodybuilding. There's no rules in life. The only rules that you see on a blood work panel are those numbers that they predetermined back from the 1960s on who? Normal people. So now we have to go off of old numbers on people that don't work out, that are probably 160, 170 pounds. It's like the numbers are skewed. So, anyways, I guess my whole fucking rant is I'm just doing me. I'm just here. Hey, that's where I'm at. Yeah, I mean, competing's done. That's over. Being 36. I think I was telling Luke this. I think we touched on it. Just like there comes a point where you have to stop. Like, you're done, dude. You didn't make it. You got to fucking move on. Congratulations. Your journey has brought you to this point. And if you haven't done what you should have been doing, or you haven't created a life for yourself to this point, you got other fucking things to worry about.
This is true. This is true.
That's the fucking facts, bro. So what I tell everyone is, like, have fun, be healthy. Consequences will come later. What consequences are going to pop up?
The worst thing you can do is outstay your welcome.
Yes.
You don't want to do that in any sport, and literally any sport. But obviously in bodybuilding, you can see almost more reason why you don't want to, overstay your welcome. So when it's time to go, and honestly, when it's that time, you should be in a position where you feel okay retiring. Because if you don't, you probably did it wrong. Right?
It sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It took me all of last year to like figure it out, because I wanted to jump back, bro. I wanted to go back. Like, I was like, I think I could still do this. The problem is social media. You look at everybody, you start comparing yourself to these people, these amateurs, these people that you're associated with, and you're like, I can fucking do this. For what, bro? What is it going to do for you if I get a pro card? I'm not going to be able to compete as a pro. I can't go and stand next to Luke. Can't do it. So why do it?
It's like cringy when you see these guys that should clearly be hanging it up, that keep going and keep going. And honestly, they start to look worse and look worse and look worse. And you're like, who wants to tell them, bro? You know what I mean? Like, it gets like that. And you can just see it like right in front of you,
Yeah.
I call myself an IG bodybuilder now. So I get really good lighting. I can get a pump, and I'll take a picture, and there we are. I do the bathroom Boca Bash every night, and I win. And before I get in the shower, I take the pose and I jump in there and I fucking won, bro. No one came to the show tonight.
Yeah.
This is me.
I only believe in masters if you either started late or took like a hiatus. But if you've been blasting since you were 17, I don't believe in competing at 50. Like, what? I don't know.
You know what's the worst is, like, not the worst. For some people, I'll give them a pass, I guess. But, like, you see these guys, like you said, that they've been competing since they were 18 years old. They're still not a pro. They turn 35, they go get their master's pro card, and then they try to jump into open pro shows. And I'm like, bro, you're not there. Like, you're like levels behind. You know what I mean?
What's the goal? Like what?
That's what I'm saying.
What do you want to get out of that emotionally, or what are you searching for?
I think for people like that, I feel like if you were in that situation, there's one guy I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I'm not going to name his name, obviously, but when you give so much of your life to something, I feel like they're probably wanting to just look back and be like, well, I became a professional and I competed as a professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I at least did that, right? Because, I mean, if you're not fucking delusional, like, if you got a master's pro card, you compete in open pro bodybuilding shows, anything other than last place is a win, which is fucking shitty.
Yeah,
Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like if you're like second to last, you're like, oh, I killed it, bro. Like that's horrible. You know what I mean? That's not
yeah.
fun. So I don't know.
I
I would never, but to each is their own. Like some guys want to just get that like badge of honor, I guess, and be like, you know what, I put in all this, and at least I was able to say I compete as a professional or something. You know?
I think I think it's human nature to seek validation. So when you say validation, like when to seek validation in itself, I don't think it's a negative thing. But there's so many ways to feel validated in life. And I think that's the part that people need to understand. So once again, if you're 50 and you've been competing, for 30 years, at that point, the issue might be you haven't validated yourself in life in other ways that you probably need to, right? Let's say just
Mm-hmm.
as a grown man, like getting your life together. I think that would make you feel more validated at this point, right? So because maybe you've never done anything that made you feel validated, you're seeking this thing that you think will, and it actually probably won't, you know? So the best thing you could probably do is just get your life together as a grown man might do you more justice, and I think that's
Yeah,
important. Now, if you're like if you're like this super successful person and you're competing in your 50s just cause it's fun, that's fucking great. That's fucking great.
yeah,
You're already fulfilled in life and you're just doing this just to do it. I think that's great. But that's
yeah,
just that's just usually not the case. Like let's be real.
yeah.
That's not usually the case. So I think seeking validation is fine, but just be clear on what you're looking for in life, right? Because you can have it all. You can have it all if you're just smart. You can do something for fun or do something you're passionate about, and still have a good life if you're just really clear on what you're doing. You know. So
I think
It's hard though, bro. Like a lot of bodybuilders are delusional one way or another. Like they either think they're way better than they are and think they're gonna go be the next fucking Jay Cutler, or they're fucking great and they always think they suck and they don't go do anything. You know? It's pretty rare you find somebody that has like an accurate, like I don't know,
yeah,
like depiction of
accurate
where they
assessment on
actually can
themselves.
go.
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is. It is.
exactly. So like you'll see these guys like they'll be like you said, like 35, 40 years old, they've been gassing it for 20 fucking years and they still think they're going to be the next big thing. Oh, it was just the
But yeah,
judges. Oh, it was just the show. Oh, it was just, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And then you get other guys that could be really, really good bodybuilders, but they never think that they can, so they don't fulfill their potential, you know?
This is true. Yeah, yeah. You gotta have that radar. You
It's
probably
hard though, because
have.
like even
Huh?
even me and like you guys, I'm sure like I don't really know what I look like. You know,
No,
like I always feel like I
nobody
look
does.
small and fat and shitty.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I look like. I base it all off what people tell me. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not easy to do. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be. I don't know what my career is gonna look like. I don't know if I'm gonna be good or I'm gonna suck. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. We're gonna find out. You know?
Well, that's another thing. Like sometimes it's very obvious, like your genetic potential. But it's funny
Yeah,
because even those guys, sometimes they actually never go that far. And then
that's what I'm
sometimes,
saying.
you know, and then sometimes you don't know till you find out. So there's a balance. But I would say you have about 5 to 7 years to be delusional, and then you have to stop being delusional. Like I think you can be somewhat delusional in like your early mid 20s, but then at some point you have to get realistic and say, okay, what am I actually gonna do? Like, where is this headed, right?
Mhm.
But you have some years to be delusional, or you can get
I
away
think
with delusion.
the delusion gets you started. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it
Yeah,
gets you
yeah,
like you have to have that like big enough of a dream to want to
yeah.
be 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh,
not that's not a normal person thought. So you got to be a little delusional when you start, but then it comes like you said, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I've put 5 to 7 years in. Where am I? What does my future look like? You know what I mean? Like, what's the reality
yeah.
of this?
I've seen delusion turn into success quite a few times. It's not as common, but I mean, I could give you three names that a lot of people call delusional. Nick Walker was one of them. Everybody thought he was delusional. Martin was one of them. And I would even say to some extent, Derek, right? Granted, he won
Yeah,
the USAs. Granted, he won the Tampa, but he was talking about being 212 Miss Olympia, and a lot of people didn't believe that, you know?
yeah. Oh, it
And
even stems earlier than that because obviously I've gotten closer with him being here. Like him and his wife were telling me a story about when he was working at a restaurant and like the manager was giving him shit for eating a meal. And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go be Mr. Olympia," and everyone was like, "No, the fuck you're not," right? Like even go all
yeah,
the way
yeah,
back to them before he was even a pro, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Um, but that's what I'm saying is like that kind of stuff gets you started. The thing is when you're so like when you're new to this, it requires so much time to get good that you have no idea how far you could go. Like if you looked at pictures of me when I started, bro, no one would have ever said I'd be a pro by 28 or five after five shows. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm,
no one would have ever said that. I
yeah,
looked like dog shit, and I was on the gas, and I looked like shit. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
it's like you don't really know. So what you can turn into, because as you grow, your structure will start to change, and things will start to happen. So you have to have, like I said, a little bit of that delusion to get you started. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. The thing is, the reason you don't know is some people just continue to improve every year. Some people like start off like, whoa, this is really good. And even if they do the work, they don't really seem to improve. So that's why you're kind of like, huh, I can't tell because out the gate, this person is strong, but they stay there.
Yeah,
They stay like the same. Some people kind of like, ah, he's okay. But then every year is just more and more. You're like, God damn, this is crazy
yeah.
how it's going on. So, yeah,
That's kind of my thing. Is it's just been like a step. I mean, 2024 to 2025, I made a lot of progress, but like for most of the time, it's been a steady 10 to 15 pounds each year kind of thing. And I just kind
yeah,
of worked my way up. I was never a freak or nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't
yeah,
just like, oh, when I first started, it's not like I just blew up after like my first year of training, like some of these guys. You know what I mean? But then you see other guys too, like you said, they'll be a freak at 21. And then by 30, they're like basically the same. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So everyone progresses at their own rate. You're not going to know, but you
I
just got to know
improved
when
too
it's time
late.
to call it. And when you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I improved too late. That's what happened to me. Seriously,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
I improved too late, and then it was like, well, time's up. Like you gotta stop. It is what it
yeah,
is.
it sucks, man.
It was kind of like one of those things. Like start at 22, you're training like an idiot the whole time, and then you figure out things a little later, and you're like, oh, if I was doing other things earlier, it's fucking weird, but that's a journey, man. That's this whole bodybuilding thing. I think bodybuilding, honestly, I think bodybuilding is not special any longer. Everyone's a bodybuilder. Everyone competes. It's just the thing to do. It's cool. Social media, influencing, bodybuilding. Cool. You bodybuild? Oh, sweet. The brotherhood is totally gone, in my opinion. And I say that with loose ends on it because you bring people on this podcast, and I told Luke, like, you're really cool, man. It's cool that like you bring people on that vibe with each other, that are cool with each other. I didn't know Luke, but we started talking like as if we known each other in person.
Yeah.
That brotherhood is still there, but the new and upcoming brotherhood, it's all about clout,
Well,
influence.
yeah, it's because like I told you this DT when we were talking, like the real ones will find each other through all the
Mm-hmm.
bullshit, you know what I mean? But like it's because when we started, it was all out of a love for this. You feel me? Now these kids are chasing a contract. They're chasing a follower amount. They're literally saying, like, I'm seeing this one kid that goes to my gym. He's like living out of his van or something, and he like
Oh,
packed
I
all stuff up
know,
in a van, and
dude. I know
he
who you're talking
drove
about.
to Florida, to pursue his dream as a bodybuilder and an influencer, right? So like he's searching for contracts and followers. Bro, you pulled Instagram out of his fucking phone. He would, you know what he would do this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. Um, and that's the thing with this younger generation is that's what they're after, bro. They're after money, really, and like a career in this, and it's not gonna happen. So
Yeah, that's
I
rough,
think when
man.
you, I think when you're that young too, you don't understand that one wrong move in the gym, one blown out quad or knee or shoulder, it's over. It's done.
yeah,
What are you gonna do now? Go get a real job,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? Or one
yeah.
health issue. Like for myself, I got protein in my urine. I can't blast no more. I don't want to put my kidneys under any stress. So what would I do if I needed contracts and stuff? Go get a waiting job. Go be a bouncer.
yeah,
Fuck, man.
I think we all get something a little different out of bodybuilding, but
Yeah.
you don't really know what that's gonna be until you're closer to the end of it, right? Because
That
you know,
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say like we all have this choice that we need to make. And as a young kid, and you guys probably feel the same way, we didn't know what consequences could be later on. We didn't know that, you can get calcium buildup. We didn't have this information. We didn't know that we could mess up our kidneys. We knew about kidney damage and this and that. We're like, yeah, we don't know about these things. So throughout the careers of us competing and us doing, we have to be okay with what end result is at the end of that day. When you write that check, you got to pay for it, right? So whatever you're doing throughout that bodybuilding journey, you better be setting yourself up for the rest of your life too, because whatever damage you've done and eliminated off your life already, you got to be okay with that. So you
I
better
mean,
fucking
what I was aware of, I wasn't aware of the details, but I was aware that bodybuilding could potentially take off 5 to 10 years off my life. That
yeah,
was kind of like my guesstimate. But at the time, that wasn't a big concern because
right.
that was the least of my worries. There was a lot of things I could take off 5 to 10
Yeah,
years off my
yes,
life,
yes,
you
yes.
know.
You
So
want
it
to hear
wasn't
something crazy?
a big worry to me. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say this only on this podcast, and because whoever watches it won't get this. Last night, I actually cried to my wife.
Uh-huh.
I said, "I'm sorry for." I'm getting emotional right now. Excuse me. I'm sorry for taking off the years of my life to be selfish, not spending with you. Because when you think about it, you've really actually did that, to get to a certain point, and then you finally found someone that you're like, fuck, I would trade all this shit away, like fuck bodybuilding, you know.
yeah.
If I could get another
Yeah.
15, 20 with you, man, you can have the trophies, you can have all of it back. That
Yeah,
is the
imagine if
craziest part.
you don't have kids, right, DT?
No, I
Yeah,
honestly,
imagine if you had kids, it'd be even worse.
nah, man. The average life expectancy of a male is 70 years old in the world.
Yeah.
70. I'm 30. So you're telling me it's half over right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you think about, okay, it's half over. Let's take off 10 for good measure.
Just in case. Yeah.
So I only got 25. And then everything else is killing me too. Between the water and the crystal light and the eggs and the food, like, so
Plastic,
plastic.
everything.
You start to, dude, if you sat there, you'd go in a deep place. And I actually did that one day. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, how these peptides are going to make me live longer. We have no long term research on.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
That's just me how I think now. That's where DT is in his life. 10 years ago, trend. Let's fucking take it. Let's do as much as we can.
Yeah.
But
Now, I will say though the joy and fulfillment that we got at some point out of it, I don't want to say was worth it, but to some extent
I always say,
Yeah,
yeah, I always say, like, if you are enjoying what you're doing, it's never time wasted or it never wasn't worth it.
No,
You know
no.
what I mean?
if I didn't have bodybuilding from the age 20 to 30, I don't think I would have been a very happy person.
Yeah.
I don't, I can't say for sure, but I don't think so.
But then something else is going to fill that void too. So
Yeah.
imagine what it could have been something worse for you. You know what I mean? You never know. You
I,
never
Yeah,
know.
I could say this if
Somebody
I
got
didn't
tied up
have
in the wrong shit with the wrong
yeah,
people. You don't know what it could have been. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
if I didn't have bodybuilding from I like to call it 18 years old. I competed when I was 22, but let's say 22 years old till now, I wouldn't have had the trajectory in my life to be where I am today.
Yeah, 100%.
So for as successful as you think you are, because we're only successful as we think we are, right? Um, it's okay. I'll have to. I'm gonna have to be okay because at least I've done things, I've experienced things. Just last weekend, that's a great experience, man. If I wasn't who I
Yeah,
was, I wouldn't be on this podcast with you guys.
yeah, straight up.
So sorry for being down. That's the real shit that
Oh, that's real. Yeah,
like, no one talks about that. Like, you don't hear people really saying that weird shit.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really have anything else that I felt I kind of poured my energy into. Uh,
neither did I.
I, I don't have like some kind of like degree that I would have chased or
No,
something. So if I didn't chase anything, I would have had to survive. So I would
right.
have had to chase money to some
One of
extent.
the one of the most underrated things about it is the purpose that it gives every day. Right?
Yeah,
It's like every day, even on a random fucking Tuesday, like you got cardio to do, you got meals to eat, you got shit to do to get you better. And I think so many people in life, they just go through the motions, bro, and they just get by, just to get by, just to pay bills, just to get to the weekend, just to whatever. And there's
sounds
no
depressing.
purpose.
Yeah,
There's no purpose to everything that they do other than like just getting by. And I think that leads to a really unfulfilled life in ways. And I think that's something that that's really undervalued in bodybuilding. It's just that purpose that it gives every single day. You know what I mean?
It does.
oh
And
man,
after, like, dude,
Yeah.
packing meals, like my day to day is literally, there's nothing different than what I've been
Yeah.
doing. It's just less gear.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. It's fucking great. It's a structure. It gives you life. It gives you meaning, purpose. Having to obtain a certain look that you've worked so hard for. I mean, who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like to wear nice clothes and go out? You
Yeah.
know, you
yeah,
get looks, you get compliments, you get this. No regular. You are not regular. And that's fucking cool.
Yeah. I like
You
that.
know.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we all like that.
Without that structure, what would I have been chasing? Like, what would I have been working towards? I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, I have a. I would assume I would be chasing women and money. I guess I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really it.
That would have been like a slippery slope. Like I said, if you don't have no degrees and you want to make good money,
Right.
you kind of imagine the steps you would
Yeah.
take to get there.
Yeah, bro.
you know. So I mean, bodybuilding has that's how I've made money indirectly. I mean, whether it was like as a teenager bouncing. I'm not the tallest. I'm not 6'8". So for me to get a bouncing job, I got to be pretty swole, right?
Yeah.
Training clients. What else have I done? I've done bodyguard work. I don't know. Everything I've done related to me being buff or
Big.
understanding nutrition or
Mm-hmm.
something. So it kind of helped me make a make a living in a legal manner. Mostly legal.
But
Couple,
that's true.
couple,
That's true
couple packs of
bodybuilding.
D-ball here and there. We gotta talk about it.
But that's I feel like that's real bodybuilding. And I say what's
Yeah,
real bodybuilding is that we've all gotten jobs for certain looks and this and that. And I
Yeah.
guess to tie it all together is that like we've all created a life because of bodybuilding. Bodybuilding has given us a life. So
Exactly.
whatever comes with it, you have to be okay with and say, well, fuck, I should have, could have, did a, like I could have not taken as much or whatever. But at the end, it gives you the purpose of who you are. And your identity is not a bodybuilder. That's what you are. That's who you are. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you stop competing, you don't stop bodybuilding. Um, and I guess chasing
Yeah.
that clout for IG, that's never what we got into it. And I think that's why we will sustain later on our images, our love for it. All these kids that are going to be switching in and out, dude, they're going to be they're
And
flashes
it's
of
going to be interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see this like new crop of kids that are chasing that. What happens to them in 20 years?
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, because
It's
they're
hard
not
to
going to
say.
be doing this if it's not for Instagram, you know?
Well, the
And
world's
then,
constantly changing. That's the thing. I mean,
yeah,
I guess we've kind of seen it to some extent, right? Let's say like somebody like Devin Physique, like 10 years ago, it's like that kid that he doesn't really like bodybuilding. He's using it as a means to make a living. So where's he now? He's making a great living, but he's doing OnlyFans, right? So it's kind of like that's kind of right. I'm not saying that in a judgmental way because he's making a great living. I'm just saying that's kind of what happens. You don't really love it. You're not gonna stay in bodybuilding, but you're gonna use.
mhm.
He's using his body, I guess, right? So it's like you're gonna find a way around it to make money. If what you really wanted to do was be popular, you might make it. And if you make it, then you're gonna be more into that than bodybuilding side of things, I guess. I don't know. Like what? This is an extreme example because Sam Solik is actually a pro bodybuilder, and he actually really passionate about bodybuilding. But what does Sam Solik look like 20 years from now? Is he like focused on bodybuilding? Because he's so successful that he doesn't need anything from bodybuilding at all
Well,
besides
that's the
passion.
thing. And that's the thing. That's the thing where I do think Sam will be okay because I think it's all
Oh, for
about your
sure.
intentions, bro. It's like why you started this, right? So like Sam. The reason I fuck with that kid is because he's very like reminiscent of us. I feel like
Oh yeah,
just like I just want to fucking train hard and I just want to eat food and train hard again and eat food again. And that's all he did. And he just set his fucking phone up and just did it. And then people just gravitated to it because the pendulum swings, right? It went from all these fancy fucking YouTube edits and crazy bullshit to just some raw fucking slag iron shit in the gym on an iPhone. You know what I mean? People
yeah,
love seeing his fucking process. And I think that he loves bodybuilding and training specifically more than he loves his clout and his money.
Sorry, I'm gonna
So
log on my phone real quick.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
so
I'm like DT. All right, let's see.
All right. Sorry, guys.
How does that work? Oh,
In progress.
double
All
trouble.
right, there you go.
oh,
Sorry, I'm gonna get ready to leave my office. Sorry, guys.
I bet. Yeah, no, it's
but I
Sam is
think
for.
yeah, I think he will. Yeah, I think he will outlast that because I think training is what he loves more than anything else. I think if you stripped, if you asked him, you can only keep one thing out of the three, like your clout, your money, or your training. I think you keep the training
Yeah.
personally.
Oh,
A lot
yeah,
of these other kids, no. But you start to get that. Like I was thinking that with Chris Bumstead at the end of his career. Why, why still do it when you've already accomplished what you've accomplished? You've already got the money. You're already the best in the world. Like that's where it starts to get like interesting to see their motives and what drives them. You know what I mean?
yeah. Man, I'll do it. Yeah, no, yes, I think Sam is gonna do great. I wonder how long he's gonna compete.
Yeah,
Probably like Sebum. Probably like by the time he's 30, because he's so young. By the time he's 30, he'll pop. That would be almost 10
yeah,
years. He'll probably
yeah,
be done by 30, if that.
yeah.
You know. I think he by that time he would have got everything he needed to get out the sport. Not that he needs anything from the sport at all, but
Right.
like from a personal standpoint, he probably would have got everything he needed to get out of the sport. You know. All right, let me see if we got anything going on. What's the Arnold is the closest show, right?
Yeah, bro. I think it's like
Closest coming up?
7 weeks.
Okay, let me pull it up.
I'm gonna use the restroom real
Is
quick.
it
I'll be right.
Yeah,
Detroit's the week after the Arnold, right?
I believe so, right? I believe it's right
Because
after the Arnold.
Detroit's about 8. So
Yeah,
then Arnold's got to be like 7 or sooner.
I think it's right after it. Where do I pull the damn well, we know who's gonna be in it. Hadi might not be in it actually. From
Yeah, do you think he's gonna make it?
uh he might be able to make it, but I think right now it seems like he's laying low for a few reasons. He's been getting a lot of backlash.
He's been
What did
getting
he
killed by his fucking people, bro.
3 weeks ago? Yeah, he hasn't posted in 3 weeks. So yeah, for there's a handful of reasons why I think he might not do it. Um, I don't know what that's gonna mean for his career, but
If he did it, do you think he wins?
yeah, I I think there's still a chance Andrew could beat him.
Yeah, I probably
Just
still have Andrew to be honest.
yeah, just because Andrew's improving at a pretty fast rate. Hadi hasn't been improving, but he doesn't really have to.
Yeah.
He's at his peak, right? Like a little bit fuller, a little bit harder, but he's at his
The only
peak,
thing
like
you gotta
in
watch
the game of
for is
fitness.
that leg, bro, because it's getting worse. I feel like
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
that imbalance.
if I'm a judge, I would have had Andrew ahead of him at the Olympia personally.
So would I have. I agree, and I didn't know if that's just my bias towards like Andrew's physique, because some guys had Hottie beating Derek. You know what I'm saying? But um, I would have had Hottie in third and Andrew in second, personally.
But sometimes Hadi fans
Oh yeah.
can come on a little strong, and we see it now in the opposite direction, surprisingly. But that's why you have to live in reality because it's not about emotions. When you like somebody, they win everything. Now you don't like somebody, now they're a piece of shit all the time. So it's like,
Yeah,
whereas to us, we're just judging what we see up there. We like all of them because we're not like we we don't dislike people for no reason. So we like all of them up there, but a lot of us had Derek, Andrew, Hadi, so on and so forth. And we love Samson, but guess what? We all had him in fourth, at
yeah.
highest,
Honestly,
possibly
yeah.
lower.
I don't even. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because he beat
Couldn't
he
be
beat
right.
Martin. Yeah, I don't think he should have beat Martin actually at the Olympia personally.
He didn't. He didn't. What was weird is he didn't a couple weeks later, and he looked better. You
Good point.
know what I'm saying?
Good point. I
Yeah.
think I think there's still a little bit of respect factor there.
Yeah.
If you don't deserve to win, they ain't gonna put you to win. But I still think there's a little bit of respect factor there still. But yeah, and we all love Samson, but we judging what the
Yeah.
fuck we see up there.
I think the same thing happened with Nick. I honestly would have had Nick in seventh or eighth if his name wasn't Nick Walker. I think
A lot
Brandon
of
should
people
have
just say that.
definitely beat him. I think Brandon should have definitely beat him, and I think you could have made a case for Tonio.
I mean,
But
yeah, but I can see some from the front for sure. But I mean, Tony
yeah,
has a really good back too. Actually, really good back too.
yeah,
I think I would assume he still probably looked overwhelming size wise
yeah.
in person,
I just
but
think Brandon, bro. I think Brandon looked
Brandon looked
really
big.
good, and I think he got really overlooked, to be honest.
He's big too. Actually, Brandon
Yeah,
looked, in some shots he looked bigger. Actually, believe it or not, as crazy
yeah.
as that sounds. You
Guys,
know,
I'm not trying to interrupt, but I gotta go. I gotta dip
yeah.
out. All right.
Yes, sir.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
That's
Yeah.
nice seeing you
Yes, sir.
guys.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to you, okay?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes,
Later,
sir.
DT.
I gotta head out soon myself. I'm trying to get my CCW, so I'm going for like I guess it's a test. I think we're going to a range or something. I don't know how it works. I'm just
Really?
showing up. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
bro.
in case I gotta pop somebody.
You gotta stay ready, bro. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. You want to do a couple questions before we head out?
Yeah, it's the quick questions in that up.
Let me just see if there's any news that popped up that we don't know about. Yeah, I
Bodybuilding's been on a
don't.
lull, bro. Bodybuilding's in a lull until the Arnold.
But this dude beyond the stage, I don't know how he pulls these stories out because I'm like, I didn't know
Yeah,
there was so many stories to cover. I'm like, God damn, how do you?
I know,
I know.
bro. He gets creative with it, bro. He finds anything.
But yeah, but he also does other divisions. I guess we don't pay
Yeah,
as much attention. But oh, the Bonac interview, I saw that one. I think everybody knew that Bonac was toward the end of his career, though. I don't think
yeah,
that's a
that
shock.
didn't surprise me. Yeah,
You know, I'm like that. Is that news that he
yeah. Isn't he like
like?
42 or some shit, bro?
I think he's older actually. I'd be 43,
Is he?
44 possibly. Yeah,
It's
but
crazy to be honest. Like, he still looks like that.
he looks phenomenal. He looks phenomenal. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's all the news. Love it kind of fading. He said my love is fading. Yeah, I mean he's been doing it for a while. I can see
yeah,
that.
bro.
All right, what's going on, Nick? Okay,
Especially with
Bob's.
like, bro. I would say this like there's three more or less three ways when I know like it's my time that I'll retire. First is health. The second is if I'm not having fun anymore. And
Yeah,
then the third is if I feel like I've already brought my best. You know what I mean?
boom,
And I
boom.
feel like it's so hard to keep going. Like if you're Bonac or Hadi or these guys, we're like that's why Ian retired, I feel like, because it's like you still put in all this work year round, taking the drugs, eating the food, yada yada yada. And you know that like whatever I bring next, it's not gonna be as good as the past. Right?
Yeah,
Which is like such a depressing feeling because what fires me up to do all this shit is getting better.
yeah.
You know
I
what
know
I
what you
mean?
mean. I know
So
what you mean. See, that was a fear of mine because I made a decision to myself that like there's a limit in what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to sacrifice for bodybuilding, right? Because
mhm,
I'm not 20. I'm not 20, so I can't just like just gung ho be down for whatever. So
yeah.
there's only a certain amount of drugs I'm willing to take, right? So that being that, I'm willing to give time and sacrifice. But let's say like I'm never gonna throw away any means of making money for bodybuilding. I'm not gonna lose a bunch of money in order to bodybuild, right? Yes,
Mhm,
I'm gonna cover some expenses here and there, but I'm not gonna put myself in a position where I'm leaking money because there's been preps where I wasn't
mhm.
taking clients and just leaking money. I'm not doing that shit right now. So
Right,
within those parameters, I'm like, can I get better? Can I get better on less drugs? Can I get better on
right.
putting work and life first? I didn't know. So I'm like, it is what it is. If I can't, then I can't. And then if I look like shit, then I'll be done. And then I look better. I look better somehow.
Yeah, it's
So I'm
fucked
like,
up,
fuck
bro.
it.
This shit, I say this shit don't make sense half the time, bro. It don't make any sense
you
half the time.
know, you know. So then now I'm like, okay. So if I can still improve, like I'm probably not gonna gain 10 pounds of muscle a year at this, but
No,
that's okay. Improvement is improvement. So then I'm like, okay,
yeah,
if I'm looking better, and I actually like enjoyed the prep. Obviously, there's going to be parts that suck,
what I'm
but
saying, bro.
it felt something sustainable, and that was important to
Yeah,
me. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again, right? So that
mhm,
was important to me. But if I would have looked like complete shit and looked worse, then I'm like, well, I'm not going to take more drugs. I'm not going to
yeah.
sacrifice more. So then
That's
it is
my
what it is.
point. Both of those things you said is exactly my point. Like if you obviously like look, there are elements of bodybuilding that I don't like. I don't like cardio, bro. I don't like being hungry. I don't like these things, but I do them obviously. And it's not that that part is fun, but it's enjoying the whole process and competing that I love and just being a bodybuilder. Once I start to feel like everything involved is like work, then I'm done.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel me? Then I'm
A
done.
lot of people when Ian retired, I feel like a lot of people were like so shocked. But if you listen to what he's saying, technically,
Yeah.
that's all the reason you need to retire.
Yeah. I mean, he was saying like when he would go train, he wasn't even like excited to train. It just felt like he was doing like basically like clocking in. And like that's exactly what I don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like once I start to feel that way, I'm done. And like you said too, like had you shown up and been 10 pounds lighter in worse shape and looked like dog shit, you probably would have been like, ah, man, it's my
Yeah,
time. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Yeah,
so
he said like going to sleep, being anxious, like, am I gonna die in my sleep? But if you're having those thoughts every night, damn, I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all, you know. And he didn't like his look. Like he felt like his look was regressing, which
right.
maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just to show it to. But if you honestly feel like that, and all those compound, and you're trying to have a
That's
kid
what
and
I'm
a
saying.
family, uh,
That's what I'm saying. Because if you believe that too, and then
that's it.
you're trying to like I said at the beginning, like when I'm going through a hard prep and I'm doing 2 hours of fucking cardio and eating all white fish and yada yada, what gets me through is like, yeah, I'm gonna be peeled. Yeah, I'm gonna look my best. Nobody doing this shit. Whatever I gotta tell myself, right?
Uh,
But to believe that I'm gonna look worse, it's real hard to get myself through that bullshit. You know what I mean? If I think it's not gonna be worth it, right?
exactly, exactly. Speaking of Ian, one of the questions I can't find it right now, but one of the questions was about Ian's comeback. So I'm at, well, I guess I'm asking my own question though. It was something along these lines about
Mm-hmm.
his comeback. But let's say, do you think he can? Do you think he can match his best if he came
Not
back?
his best.
How old is
Nah,
he?
not his best. He's
Older
well,
than
he retired at 32, so now he's 35. 30,
I know he's at
37.
least at least like 3 years older than me. So I'm 33, so he would be like
He's
36.
36,
Ah,
maybe. Yeah,
36 sounds, yeah, 36 sounds fair.
yeah.
What? That's
Not
like
his best. I mean,
James Holland.
his best was like seventh in the world. Really good, bro.
I thought
Um,
when you look back now, it looks even more impressive, right? You're
I
like,
know.
damn, he was
Yeah,
actually really good. Yeah,
he was really good, bro. So like, he's not going to get there, especially because at least what I've heard him say, he admittedly isn't willing to take all the same drugs and everything.
yeah, yeah.
Um, do I think he'll be a respectable pro again? Yes. It's hard to say like where because things have gotten so deep, bro. It's like, do I think he could be a show winner? I don't know. I
At
don't know.
Ian's all times best, like, the league has gotten better though. I will say that because I'll say
Yeah,
Ian's who was seventh this year.
Brandon.
See, I don't think Ian's best would have beat that version of Brandon.
I don't either.
Now,
I think he would have been. I think he would have been. I think that first year he took seventh, he was crisp as hell. Like right after he got second to Arnold or whatever. Um, he probably would have been that like Antonio Goodvito range, 8, 9, 10.
that's fair. Yeah, I think Ian's best beats Bonac. I
Yeah.
think Ian's
I think Bonac
best.
got ninth, I think. But I think Vito should have beat Bonac, to be honest.
I thought so too. I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Ian's all time best is around Vito. Is around
Mhm.
Vito. I think potentially he could edge out Vito just because he's taller, wider, and upper body. At all time best only, not all his versions. Just
Right.
just his when he's perfectly peaked.
Yeah.
You know, I think he would be just beating Vito. You
Yeah.
know,
He's got that fucking like granite concrete conditioning, but he doesn't have a very good front double bicep, which is Vito's best pose, which is obviously a really important pose.
yeah,
So it would
yeah.
be close, but I think he could edge out Vito if he was like nailed. Yeah.
Ian's best would have beat Jordan, but like
Yeah.
not by like a landslide. Like Jordan is
Yeah,
really fucking good. I
yeah.
think.
I think
Uh-huh.
I think Baruz was 11. I think Baruz and him. Baruz was obviously way off at the Olympia,
He was off.
but I
He
feel
was
like that
off.
would be a really good comparison.
Yeah, yeah. I thought.
That would be a good comparison.
I think this new, but then Jordan's gonna improve as well. I was gonna say, I think this new version of Ian, if he could be competitive with Jordan, that would be a huge win because Jordan is an incredible
Yeah.
bodybuilder, but Jordan is gonna be
Mhm.
better as well. So that might.
The thing with Ian is like before there was any show that he walked into, he was a favorite or at least talked about
For sure.
as winning. Whereas now, I don't think that will be the case. I think he'll. I don't know if he can win a show with this new crop. I don't. I mean, it's going to be impressive if he comes back and wins a show. That's going to be some wild shit, to be honest.
Because
If he goes
there's
back
so
to
many.
Olympia, that's going to be crazy. Like that'd be crazy.
There's so many good guys that can't that haven't
Yeah,
won a show. Like it quit. You know.
yeah.
So all right. Let's see if I got some question. I think that's a good conversation though with the Ian comeback because I'm actually excited to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of
He's got
quit,
the genetics, bro.
huh?
He's got the genetics, and he didn't get small. So
Yeah,
I think honestly, it's going to come down to how much he's willing to gas it.
yeah. Do you think quit would do well with a coach like Milos? I
No,
mean,
I think he would. Uh,
well,
it's
it
hard to say.
depends.
I think he could get him big.
What I was gonna say that. Well, what does good mean? If we mean bigger,
Yeah,
I would say almost for certain. If you see Milo's
yeah,
protocol, it's impossible not to get bigger. There's no way your body
yeah.
wouldn't get big.
I know.
if
I
if
know.
you're able to do it, which a lot of people aren't able to do it, but if you're
Yeah.
actually able to do it or you try to do it, you're going to get bigger. That's not a maybe. But will you look better? I don't know. If bigger is if you need to get if bigger is
Yeah,
better
it
for you.
depends, bro. Because like he could get huge, but then be soft as fucking butter on stage, and he's not gonna do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's what they want from him. Honestly, I
Yeah,
think
I
they do
don't
want
think
him
that would
bigger,
do it.
but like dense bigger, right? Not like
Yeah, and like
blow.
it's something that like with him, it's gonna come. Like you keep training and taking drugs and eating, it's just gonna happen. You know?
I think the size Quentin needs is size with density, not like roundness. I don't think he needs like the round, full, bubbly look. I think he needs
Yeah,
dense size. You know,
yeah,
so
facts. Oh,
that's
I got a good
the
question now. So this, you saw what Ben Pekulski said about Regan Grimes on Jay Cutler's podcast.
that if he had more legs, he
He
could
would
win Olympia.
either win Mr. Olympia or be up in the like conversation. Do you agree with
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I
Be-
don't
be-
agree with that either.
Because are you saying if Regan have bigger legs, he's gonna be Andrew? Andrew isn't even Miss Olympia.
This is the thing about Regan, bro. Regan has been the young guy with potential for as long as I've been bodybuilding, which is close to 10 years.
Yeah,
Like, everyone talks about, oh, if Regan just this, if Regan just that, he would be blah, 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 blah. But at this point, what is he, like 33?
yeah. I'm pretty
He's
sure
like
he's exactly my age. So yeah, yeah,
in his 30s. It's like every year people are like, oh, this year he's going to be way bigger. He kind of looks the same every year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm not sold on him. I'm not. I like him a lot. I like his physique a lot. I'm a fan of his. But as far as this like potential thing, it's like, bro, we've been saying it for literally like 8 years.
Everybody's so good right now, then they actually are good. Everybody's so
Yeah.
good right now that it makes you feel like everybody can be top 10, everybody can be top 5, everybody can be Miss
Mhm.
Olympia. but they can't because that's not how life works. Everybody's great, but the people placing better are better. So
Mm-hmm.
you can. It's so I see everybody saying everybody's going to be top 10 because you look at them and you be like, how can somebody that good not be top 10? Because the top 10 is better. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's just what it is. So you're looking at Regan in person. He looks insane. You're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But guess what? Look at Jordan in person. Look at Joe in person. Look, they all look insane, even more
Yeah,
insane.
it was like it's like it was like that same thing when everyone was getting ready, like when everyone was talking about the Olympia this past year. Every time they name somebody, they'd be like, "Oh, he's a top 10 guy," and I'm
That's
like,
20 guys.
"That's 20 top 10 guys. How is that possible? It don't work
I,
because you don't realize how many fucking good bodybuilders there are, and you already got like a lock for 5 of them, 5 or 6 of them.
that's
So
what I'm
you only got
saying.
like 3 or 4 guys that can sneak in there. You know what I'm saying? And like, shit ain't easy, bro.
I get why they say that because they're just going by like their skill set and
Yeah,
potential and how they look. But you have to be a more cautious. You can't just throw those
yeah.
words so randomly. Future Mr. O.
And,
Everybody's a
and
future Mr. O.
my point is with him specifically, bro. It's literally like, at what point does having potential become not fulfilling it?
I
Like,
know what you mean.
because like they've been talking about Regan as the potential next big thing since literally he turned pro.
12 years ago.
And huh?
That was 12 years ago.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, they're still talking about him as with all this potential, and he's 33. Like, how many more years is he even going to compete? So, like, is he going to fulfill the potential, or at this point, are we talking about him not? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, people have been talking about him specifically as like, if he just did this one thing, then he would fucking blah 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 blah. And I'm like, but he's not doing that one thing, and even if he did, at this point, I don't even know. You know what I
I
mean?
think that's the important part, right? Has he fulfilled his potential? I don't think he has yet. But let's say if he did. Let's say if he did add another 15 pounds of muscle and brought up his
Mm-hmm.
legs, he still doesn't win Miss Olympia, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Right? But
yeah,
that's not a knock on him. It's just because they're that good. They are that
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm saying.
so
Like, I'm a big Regan fan, bro. Like, I love his physique. He seems like a really nice, down to earth dude. Um, I'm just saying specifically with regards to statements like that, it's just like, bro, like, let's pump the brakes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because it's not just legs. He also has an issue with peaking. He also has an issue with getting in shape. He also has an issue with his tan. It's like these are all things that can knock you, especially the Olympia, that can knock you back 3 places just by fucking up your tan, bro. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly.
Like, where did he finish this year? I don't even know.
Outside the
Like
top
15th
10,
or worse.
I
Because
know
it went
Jordan beat
Baruch,
him.
Jordan, Urs. He was either 14th or below.
Which in that lineup is
Yeah.
like not like a knock
No, it's not
like
bad.
how it would be back in the days, not back in the days, but how it
Yeah.
would be maybe other years.
Hmm.
But like to say if 15 place brings up the legs, he jumps over
Yeah.
14 people is
It's
a lot.
wild.
Is
Yeah.
a lot, you know. Okay. One more question.
Yeah, no more.
Who's the best bodybuilder all time in the gym?
That we've seen in person or just in general?
No, we don't gotta see them in person. I, I would say the list of what people say, and I agree with it as well. But Dennis James is in there.
Yeah, that's the first guy everyone talks about
I would
for
say
sure.
Dallas is probably in there.
Yeah.
I
Um,
want I want to say Compton, but Compton on the stage was also pretty much just as crazy. So I don't think that's
yeah.
one as in the gym.
There's
Who
somebody else.
Crizzo in the gym is pretty fucking crazy.
Crizo, Andrew, Rubio. Those three
Uh-huh.
in person in the gym are nuts.
How about
Um,
right now? Who poses the craziest gym pictures right now? current. It's hard to say.
Damn, yeah.
Crizzo's up there. Crizzo's up
Rizzo's up
there.
there for sure. Vito's kind of in that mix a little bit.
I used to think
Maybe
Vito
Nick.
was photoshopping, but I
Yeah,
think he
yeah,
looks.
yeah, bro.
But I think he proved himself at this point.
Yeah,
I think he
no.
proved himself at this point.
I would say Nick. Nick's in there.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say I don't want to say Samson because I feel like obviously barring last year, he's a freak on.
he also
He's a
is
freak on
Mr.
stage.
Olympia, so like he is
Yeah, you
also a
can't
real Mr. Olympia. You feel me? Uh,
you can't use
but
that.
but I feel like I haven't seen him, but from what I've heard, and he doesn't necessarily post crazy gym pictures. But I feel like just seeing Rubiel
Oh
would be
man,
crazy.
Rubiel, if he is a freak. He's a freak of freaks.
Yeah,
Yeah. To him, who I feel like there's people that we're forgetting.
I'm missing. Yeah, I'm for sure missing people.
Just crazy in the
Um,
gym.
this is gonna drive me crazy.
I thought Lee Priest has some iconic shots, but
Yeah,
I think he's more of just a freak because he actually just was a freak.
all
It's
the
not.
leg kind of.
I think back in those days in the gym
Yeah,
in his era, I think he might have been the most impressive. Even in those
yeah,
videos, he was
because he's big.
insane. Yeah, yeah.
Those are usually the guys that
Paul
are
the left.
like those. Like when you're big and like when you're structurally big and muscularly big in
It's over.
person, that shit is just bonkers to see.
It in a stringer is gonna always gonna be Dennis James because that chest
Yeah.
shoulder folded, he would just be
Oh
like
yeah.
this. There was no space. He
Like
was just
choking himself out with his fucking pecs, bro. Like it was dumb.
that was insane.
Dennis Wolf. I used to see some shit with him in the gym. It was the same kind of thing, like that upper shelf, just like wide as fuck.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah. He was so wide with such a small waist. It created a
Yeah,
crazy illusion, but I still feel like
yeah.
we're missing somebody for some reason.
So do I,
Somebody
bro. It's pissing me off. I feel like
I
there are some
know
like iconic
I
gym
know
pictures of somebody.
I know Prime J like ripped to shreds. I used to
Yeah,
watch that shit like this is so crazy. But Jay
yeah,
is Mr. Olympia too, so it does it.
yeah.
It does
Um, they have like those animal photo shoots too, like with Frank and
Frank McGrath.
Fankhauser and Evan and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But nah, Dennis James is the one for real.
I
Like
think
he is, you know what I mean? Like the guy when you think about that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, in this era, I think Regan has some impressive gym
Freaking,
pictures, but
yeah,
Crizzo in the gym right
yeah,
now might be the most impressive
yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that
because he's
because
also shredded.
you can't see his fucking
Yep,
dog
exactly.
shit posing when it's a still picture. You know what I'm saying?
And his waist is a little bit funky. It's not huge. It's not
Yeah,
like a huge waist,
it's
but the
just
obliques,
flared. You
something
know,
is off
obliques
about
hang
it.
out and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're looking at the condition of his shoulders and arms and size, there's not many people who can beat that at
You
all.
know who's somebody that I just saw a crazy picture of? You probably saw it too. That isn't I wouldn't say in the gym, Mr. Olympia, but he can't bring his pictures to stage is James.
Yeah, he's been like that. He kind of always been like that. Even when he
No,
was winning
no.
shows, you see him in off
Yeah,
season, you would think he could step on stage at 290 because he would be hard
yeah.
at
Like he just
300.
you saw those pictures that he just posted like yesterday, the day before.
No, but I want to pull it up
Go
now.
to I think bodybuilders on board probably posted it. He's like 293 and he looks crazy. Crazy. Big as fuck, lean, full, round.
You
But you
know,
know that he's stuck on stage and it ain't happening.
it's crazy how some people's bodies work. That let me see.
Right there. And
You
then
see,
swipe to the next one too. Look at this
Oh, that's
shit.
crazy. Isn't that crazy how some people's bodies work that they'll be in such good condition at heavyweight, but in order to bring
Yeah.
condition, they still have to lose the same 30 pounds that the other
Yeah.
guy who
I
looks
said that.
fat.
I said that on another podcast, but no matter what, for me, it's 40 pounds is coming off.
It's
It don't
crazy.
matter if I'm fat, lean, something, but like, I'm 40 pounds coming off.
You know,
You know?
like you'll see you'll see Kai, Phil, Sean Roden. Sean is skinny fat. Phil is like big and a little pudgy looking. Kai is big and
Yeah.
shredded. All three
Yeah.
of them lose 30, 40 pounds to step on stage.
It's so fucked up, bro.
You know? And then same thing with Urge is like almost 290 shredded. But he's not gonna compete
Yeah.
at 290. We know
Oh, hell no.
that.
Not even 280, bro. He's coming all the way down to 265.
Exactly.
You
That's the
know?
part I understand. But then you have people who look kind of like soft. That's why it doesn't matter
Yeah.
until you step on stage. You
I
know,
know.
even in classic,
I know.
Urge used to remember he used to have the shredded glutes, and then you see C-Bum like look like all regular and normal,
Yeah.
and then they step on stage, and then C-Bum is bigger and harder.
Wyatt said that too. Brett Wilkins. These are guys that
Yeah,
have striding boots like year round. You
bro.
know?
Wyatt 290 shredded glutes.
Yeah, it's fucked up, bro. I put on 3 pounds after show day and my glutes are gone, bro. Shit pissing me off.
Whoa, it's crazy. And then you look at it, you're like, that doesn't even make sense. But the weight still got to come off. I don't know what the weight
I
is,
know.
where it's coming from, but it got to come off.
I know. It's coming from somewhere, bro.
Exactly. All right, bro.
It's
I've
crazy.
been on for a while.
All right, man.
I appreciate you for coming on, man. But I got to have you back on,
Yeah,
my
bro.
brother. Yes,
Yeah, it
sir.
was good chopping up, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
You're right, no champ.